I'll call this meeting the May 17th, 2021 meeting of the Grafton Cable Television Oversight Committee to order. We're doing this entirely remotely on Zoom, compliant with the governor's actions and instructions. The first item on the agenda is public input. Oh, wait, no, first we have to, I guess I'll go through here. We have to identify the people and we have to be sure they hear and speak. Bob DeToma.
Here, aye.
I'm Bob Assinger, I'm here. Mr. Berger.
Here.
Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Mrs. Kelly. I can't hear you.
Oh, here.
Okay. Okay, first item on the agenda is public input. This is where we listen to people who have something to say to us that isn't on our agenda. I don't see any public. So, although I always have thought at this point, if somebody on the committee had some input that had come along to them, they could pass it along here too. Nobody has that. Okay. Minutes review, minutes from 4/22.
There are no minutes. We'll have to double up for June.
Okay. Treasurer's report.
Can I share the screen, Bob?
That Bob.
Hang on.
Yep.
So you're Robert and we're Bob.
Oh, I'm Robert. Okay, that's good.
That's what it says on my screen.
Yeah, no, that works. No, that does work. Okay. Here we go. So I went to the town clerk's office and I wanted to get an updated report to find out where we stood on our accounts. And it was a feat trying to figure this out because of the misallocations of accounting that happened during the year. So if we can look at this real fast, we have brought in for revenue $299,597.27. That's what we brought in from July 1 to today. All right. This balance forward is of 484,000. That's what we had in the bank before this fiscal year. So the bottom number that says 805,000, that's not really a true number because we're bringing in our $320,000 that we budgeted. So we do have a couple $100,000 in the bank, but this is not the right number because we would have to deduct what we brought over under that warrant. Personal services, which is the how we pay for our crew, we are in very good shape there. This is what we have left for the remaining 4-point-something weeks to pay our guys, which is about where we're supposed to be. We expended roughly 75% of that allocated line. And out of expenses, because we are a bottom line budget. And you can see that we've done pretty good in most of these lines, except for purchase of services, we're over by $10,000. And that seems to be an issue with our attorneys. And we didn't allocate enough money for that. But because we're a bottom line, we still have $37,193.06 in our budget to get us through the next 30 days. All right. Now, with that being said, we're going to run into the same problem we're going to run into that we just did here, because Verizon's license agreement, we have to start working on that now. And when I say that, I mean, we're going to have Bill August still on our payroll. And I didn't realize that on this 5-year deal, that when you're into it for your second year, you now start your negotiating and you start all the processes. So we don't, he's not gonna go away right now. He's gonna stick with us. And then after we're done with Verizon, we might have a little lull in there, but then we're gonna jump right back into Charter, but that's a 10-year deal. So that's 7 years that we're good for. That's my report. If anybody has any questions, I will take them one at a time. I'll stop my share.
That
There
is
you go.
totally beyond me, what you showed us.
I can't hear you, Mr. Chair or Mr. Vice Chair.
Well,
I can hear.
Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you. Can anybody hear me?
No, we can't hear you. No, we cannot hear
Bob
you.
can hear me. Jack can hear me. Lisa can
You can hear him? Oh, so it's me? Huh. I couldn't believe it.
Can you still not
I'm
hear
gonna
me?
log off and log back in.
All right, let's just vamp then because we need him.
Get all your negative opinions about Burger out of the way before he comes back.
Lisa, is there any chance that you could tip your camera down a little bit so I can see more than the top of your head?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the windows, yeah, the window is giving an effect. I thought you had like a pink filter on.
Well, there's the glare and all that, but there's the fact that she's not exactly where we teach people to put people in images.
Well, that's because she's in her bed.
In her bed,
That's right.
doesn't matter.
Let them know that.
But laptops often,
Tell him why, Jack.
I'm losing you.
Why what? Why you're in your bed?
Yeah, because there's no place to sit in this house.
Oh, well, that is true. Our entire house is a battlefield.
Yeah, sometimes we get that view with a laptop.
Yeah.
People have the screen have it like this, and a lot of people don't watch what image they're putting out. Of course, all of us in television production, we know about the thirds rule, and
We even got our setup. In fact, because of that, I should be closer over here so that
well,
we have everything in frame.
okay. Robert,
I can hear you.
can everybody hear Robert?
Okay. Any questions?
All right. I would have needed about a half an hour with that page that you showed us to have a chance of having the slightest idea, and it's not going to help.
Okay.
I have no idea where we are, and I hope we're okay.
We are. I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
We're okay.
Okay.
I like to look down the road and all of that, but we got more or less the amount of money we thought we'd be getting. I wanted to mention that that's coming from, in case anybody tunes this in and looks at it, that's the money that comes from the cable companies to support Grafton Access. None of that's a tax money
That's right.
or town revenues. Okay, anything else on the treasurer's report?
Nope. That's it.
No. Closed captioning, tightrope / ENCO, Bob DeToma.
I recently had a meeting with the head of sales for Tightrope and Chris, I'm sorry, not Chris, the gentleman that you referred to, Bob, municipal captioning. And they walked me through most of the functions of the system. Tightrope shake hands with this company called ENCO, and they cleared up a lot of the gray area that I was struggling with the original sales call. The system will take input if you need to add it into the system. The scenario that they painted was if you were adding in, let's say, Spanish language subtitles. That would be one of the functions where you would add in text, because that was the first thing I asked them, that why would the closed captioning system require me to attach a text? So the system operates in a fairly simple manner. As we suspected, it was a talk-to-text function. The cost, if you look at those three proposals, and all you got to do is look at the bottom lines on those things, the costs are a little exorbitant, and those are annual contracts. So if we did one channel, namely government, and we did only live productions, those are the prices that they quote for their system. Now, I was happy that Tightrope hosted the meeting, because they, as I stated, have this handshake agreement with Enco. However, at this time, I would like to just continue to pursue other options and see what's out there. I understand that there are some closed captioning services in the cloud that are charging by the minute. And I was doing some rough math. If we did X number of meetings per week and times 52 weeks, and it comes in way under those numbers, it's miraculously low. The question remains how we get closed captioning from that cloud service through the switchers, through the broadcast picks, and out to the viewers who are actually watching on cable. So I have to do some more digging and some more homework to get that answer. So I reached out to the sales team on this one particular website that I'm pursuing. I'm waiting to hear back from them. That's the short version of that story.
The 15,985 you say is annual, but isn't the 4195 one time? That's buying hardware, isn't it?
Yeah, once the hardware is installed.
So it's only 12,000 a year or something
Right.
like that.
Right.
It worries me here about the live, not offline, because if we're spending money and going so far as to provide closed captioning, it should be there when people come to the website too. So that is a concern, and when you're talking to them, you know, I assume that they have a price for that too. But I guess seeing the quality of how it works out in situations like we have is also going to be a part of this if we ever get to something that sounds doable. Anybody else?
Well, yeah, I want to add to that. So we're in fiscal year right now. We're going into fiscal year FY22. If we decide that we want to pursue this and we're going to expend more money, we didn't budget it for fiscal year 22. Now, it doesn't mean we can't go in front of, I don't even know if it does mean that. Can we go in front of FinCom? I don't think we can. Because once we set our budget in May for our $335,000, if we didn't budget for this, we're going to be looking at fiscal year 2023 to put this closed caption in.
We ought to be able to, if we really wanted to, go to the fall town meeting and modify our budget.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that.
And it's going to take that long to
Right.
settle in on something.
Right. But I just wanted you and the public to be aware that is the process. Once we set our budget, the only way to get more money, which isn't taxpayer money, it all comes from that 5% fee, is we still have to ask the people or the body, we need some more money and this is what we want to do with it.
Yeah, I think if we tell them it's money that's not going to come out of anything and it's for something like closed captioning, we'd probably be able to get it.
We would. We would.
So you know, we could do that, but I think it's a ways off before we get there. And I agree that pursuing, continue to pursue would be good. There is a big gray area, I think now, especially after today. Now the COVID rules are being pulled back. We don't know when or if we'll be doing in-person meetings. We don't know if we stop having Zoom meetings, then we're going to have a whole different selection of, or a smaller selection of programming of programming. We're not going to have all those other committees because we can't cover them. So there's a lot of unknowns, but I think it's worth keeping after it and seeing what we can do. If we can help, if we can be a leader. Let's do it. Anybody else?
I also reached out this afternoon to the company that maintains our equipment at Conference Room A to see if they had any leads on companies that would not only do the closed captioning, but how to get that live action captured on camera through the booth. So we've got more than one oar in the water, and we'll just keep pulling and see what happens.
Okay. I think that's a good thing for us to be doing. I don't think anybody can argue with that one. They can find a way to argue with almost anything these days, but maybe not this one. All righty. Activity report, access activity, verbal report, Jack and Bob.
Go ahead, Jack.
We were able to, or Bob was able to talk to the schools and Tom Walsh specifically, and we have been able to get a pretty good amount, considering what we had before, of school sports footage. All of it's directly from them. We didn't capture any of it. They've just been giving it to us, and all of that. I think everything that's been given so far has been uploaded to YouTube and to the channels, correct?
And to VOD.
Okay, so it's all up there now, and it's good to have something else to occupy the Ed channel. I don't think that Twig episode 2 is out when we had our last meeting, so Twig 2, Twig 3, and 4 all out, and it has a little over 400 views, those 3 combined. So that's doing well. We did our first warrant article review, the strong chief versus weak chief with Evan. He came in, that did very well, and then I had Jim, who isn't here tonight, come in and do a quick promo for our St. Mary's Church coverage, because I figure we can't really put anything. It's not like we can put something on Facebook or YouTube, because the population that watches that primarily isn't able to access, or just doesn't know to access those platforms. So I had him come in to do a PSA we could put on television promoting the times and dates of those church sessions. And of course, we're still doing bust up weather and minute by minute. And I think we're all set with meet the candidate. I think we've got all of those done. Yeah. So
Really, did I say I didn't want to do it? This is hilarious. We're all running unopposed.
Right. The process of downloading those sporting events that Mr. Walsh shared with us, we're getting capital R raw video, and trying to make the best program that we can out of it. So we created an intro for each of the events, both football and volleyball. Tom will try to come over and visit me every Thursday afternoon for about an hour. And what he does is he logs in to the file sharing program that they use, and he downloads 5 or 6 programs directly onto the Mac desktop, and then I take it from there. So if he comes over once a week and gives us 5 programs, and I think he said in their file system they had close to 75 sporting events. That's the number that sticks in my head anyway. So we'll have plenty of programming due to his partnership and his courtesy of walking over and sitting down for an hour and doing the file download. So it's been just in the last few days. It's nice to look up there and see something other than school committee. Not that we don't like school committee. It's just nice to see something different.
Yeah. I thought of something. I don't know. Ed Prisby pointed out that we're selling tickets to that voyage, whatever.
yeah, prom foil, whatever they called it.
Prom voyage.
We
We are not selling tickets.
Well,
completely
Frisbee's
ignorant.
pointed out that they did.
Yeah, it's not us. They set up a table in front of the old pump in the parking lot for 20 minutes on specific designated days. So they're just to the left of the building on the lawn, and neither Jack or I or Bill are out there selling tickets.
Yeah, and we were also ignorant to the, general situation. It was just, hey, can we use this little spot over here? We said, sure, not thinking it would become something.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything becomes something.
Well, we're short of some things to be worried about, so we got to, do what we can.
Yeah.
I like Lisa's image now.
I tried. But do we want to talk about just what we're doing this week? Because do we have much other than we have Colleen, Roy, and Matt often coming in to do a kind of a 1-year retrospective of their time on the select board. And this is going to be my first time doing Bus Stop Weather with our soon to be next in line coming in, so that'll be good.
What's going to happen through the summer for that?
We'll put it on hold and pick it up again in the fall. When Julia comes in the afternoon tomorrow, she'll be bringing in her new protege / replacement, and we'll start her off by doing some new station IDs and get her introduced to the public that way, and then slowly but surely turn the reins over to her so she can start doing the weather in the fall. But she'll get at least 1 or 2 broadcasts of weather under her belt before the school season is over, and we'll keep it going.
Because Joy is a senior, so she's done a bit before the school year ends. So yeah, the new girl will get a couple, and like I said, we'll have her do some really quick "Hi, my name is," and if you're watching GCTV, or just really easy, just get her comfortable on camera.
Okay. Anything else on all that?
No.
Next meeting was proposed for Monday, June 21st at 7 p.m., presumably on Zoom. But we're all going to be in, it's not clear because the governor's business about the open meetings is based on, I think, his emergency declaration that he made a year ago. And I saw that the emergency declaration was going to be expired right around this date. What that will do to all this open,
The news report I saw today said that the emergency declaration, he would cancel it or rescind it on June 1st, I believe. So,
I thought it was further into June, but okay.
but either way, yeah, we can schedule the meeting and then just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, you want to grab that conference room. Oh no, we've been meeting down at your end place anyway, right? So we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait a minute. We've been meeting in conference room F before this started.
Right, but we ran into some conflicts, and when we run into the conflict, we use the studio as the backup.
So, but what are we planning on doing now?
Well,
If we have to
Right
meet-
now, we have to wait and see what happens. If
Okay, but let's just say we have to meet in person. So if we have to meet in person,
we can meet in the studio if necessary.
If you can't get the room, if you can't get F on that night, and I suspect there's a 50-50 chance that he could, maybe more, since it's just a startup, others aren't as ahead as we are. But if you can't,
I would say it might be less than 50-50, just because I'm not sure if room A is still being used for like storage, or there's an office in there still, or
no, but if we are now going back and the governor's going to take away the open meeting law relaxed requirements, then I have to put conference room A back together.
very quickly. I
Right.
haven't seen this, of course, but that's okay. We're talking about F. And Mondays, the planning board's the big problem on Mondays. And that's picked as the Monday that we're not meeting, at least so far.
Then there's also Board of Health, which on a night like tonight, they're also meeting.
Okay. So much for that. Is there anything else that I couldn't, or Jim couldn't reasonably anticipate?
Okay, I'm still here.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Poor Bob.
Oh, he did? I thought he was just,
No, he's frozen.
I was just thinking.
No. Okay, so
Now
I'll
what
take,
do we do?
well, I'm the treasurer, so I guess I'm in charge now. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
To adjourn.
Seconded, we are now adjourned.